We're all like foreigners down here in Syria. The whole situation is like turning upside down for us. Nobody like supporting you that much. Back in Baghdad, we had our work, we had our separate life from the band. But down here, the band is all what we got. And we ran out of time, money, even we got real exhausted. And we faced it all. I mean, like, we're hard metal guys. I mean, but like, I don't know for how long.
When the guys from Acrassicauda were living in Damascus, the Syrian government said that on October 1st, 2007, all Iraqi refugees might get deported back to Iraq. All of their visas were expiring right around that time. And so they were really nervous. They'd run out of money, they'd sold their instruments, they had no jobs, and were growing increasingly depressed and ornery with each passing day in Syria. So they were at the end of their rope, and we're basically saying we're going to go back to Baghdad, even though we may face our death. Our film, Heavy Metal in Baghdad, had premiered at the Toronto Film Festival a month prior to that, so we were talking to the press about it, and we were getting a lot of journalists on our side to help spread the word. And with that, the metal community from around the world donated cash, and enough money was raised that they could escape. If you're Iraqi, you can't fly to many countries if you're living in Syria, and the easiest and safest option was to come to Turkey. They could come to Turkey only if they flew, because they assumed that these are Iraqis with money. So this was a loophole, and the loophole worked.
We got Tony down there, we got ڤايس, the two dumb fucks guitarists in Acrassicauda, and we got the cool guys down here, me, drum, Ross, bassist. Acrassicauda going for Grand Bazaar.
انا احب ميجاديث سلاير والاخر.
بياخد ميجاديث.
اوكي مدبر لك اخذ ميجاديث.
This is fucking good.
These songs in another prison. They got to gut, the films were taken. Been zombies with the liquor.
We're in Istanbul. We're going from the airport into the city. We're going to meet Acrassicauda. They have been here since the middle of October. They're living illegally here. Right now they're technically classified as asylum seekers. And in 3 days we're going to Ankara with them. They have their interview at the UN. So hopefully on Monday they'll have a breakthrough. They've been here for a few months. You know, initially it was difficult for them, but I think things are getting better, but we'll find out firsthand from them.
Hey, yo!
Hey!
What's up, dude?
What's up, man? How are you? How are you? Group hug, group
yeah,
hug.
yeah.
Look at this guy, he's got long hair. All right, let's see the hair. Let's see the hair. I'm good. That's good. It's coming out.
I'm trying to grow mine longer now.
So-
Istanbul now, man.
It looks good. You tell me, is it all right?
Refugees in Istanbul, man. The most interesting city in the world, man.
Istanbul?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. You know, the culture is
Mixture.
a mixture.
Europe and Asia?
Europe and Middle East.
But they don't understand you when you speak Arabic.
No.
No. So you guys are fucked. You can't communicate with anyone, right? Cool, all right. Well, let's go to the jam space.
Yep.
Yeah, this way. Let's go the other way. We're going to the practice space where the guys are going to rehearse. This is the music neighborhood where it's all music shops. And I guess they're not like traditional practice spaces. It's more music stores, and they rent out spaces to bands where they can record. And it's all set up with amps and equipment already. Here we go. This is a nice room. Yeah. We heard them play for several hours today, and they sound good. They've written a lot of new songs, louder, harder, faster than the earlier songs that they played, and they sound good. They're getting tighter. So how does it feel? You're allowed to do what you want to do now, right? There's freedom here.
Exactly. I'm trying to grow my hair longer, get in longer goatee, you know, listen to whatever I want, wear whatever I want. Plus, as musicians, I mean, the music scene, especially heavy metal scene here, it's like something. So, I mean, hopefully we make it here too.
So this is, you said, you know, it's the first time I did this, that, and the other thing. Like, a lot of firsts have happened for you. What were they? It's the first time you wrote?
First time I was like on a flight.
Yeah, on the plane. Just you, all of us.
And, I almost shit in my pants. Second thing, like first time on a ship in the middle of the sea. First time I was ever on metro. First time, like I saw the snow. And I just like, you know, catch it. And I almost like broke his jaw with a big
like,
snowball.
Snowball fighting, just like make a ball and throw it at each other.
Wow, a lot of things to experience. The only thing is like the technology down here. They got like so much technology down here for us, you know. I mean, not comparing like to where you came from, guys, but for the Iraqi people, they got like, you know, these small things.
Yeah, I mean,
just
when
press
you get
them,
in the bus, you use
the
this
bills,
instead
you know,
of paying money. You just like press the button
and
with
like
this.
first time we saw his brother-in-law using them, like first time we got here, he was like, we were like,
what the hell is that?
and we feel like people down there. We feel like every time, like even today, maybe like something was gonna happen and we're gonna feel like retarded and cave people again.
I mean, just
like
But Baghdad wasn't backwards though.
No,
really.
It wasn't?
I mean, compared to this, yes, but it's
Now it's fucked. Except for the green zone.
The only modern thing that you open your eyes on is war, so you can't consider anything as a very good thing. This is all you know.
So there's some journalists who've been calling you guys a band on the run, which was a song in the 70s. You know that song, Band on the Run? And it's kind of perfect. It's what you guys are. You've been in 3 different countries in a year and a half. And
we never felt like settled anywhere.
They gave us heaven down here. It's like we can play and we can, you know, go whatever kind of limits we can go to with our music. You know, we can perform and shit. But it's still like, it's just like they gave you heaven, but like you got like big
Hell with it.
metal ball chained to your foot. That you can't run free down there. Cause like after all, like we still the refugees. Our visas are expired. Waiting for the UNHCR interview. We're gonna determine our future down here in Turkey.
so you're living illegally.
Illegally, you're walking by fear.
You've all been stopped by the cops, right?
Yeah, and they always give you a heart attack every time they stop you.
Like to have like a good knowledge, like with the back streets down here, so we avoid like to walk down the main streets where all the cops are.
Best example is a Christmas Eve. We all spent it home because we couldn't like go to Taksim Square where all this party going on because of the cops all over the place.
Right.
and it's like sucks, you know. Stayed home.
No, I mean things are really cool here, but except for the expenses, which is like hell, and the hard language that you're never gonna learn.
They speak a fair amount of English here, right?
No.
No?
Not all of them, but like who speak it, they speak it good.
We
Right.
only find these weirdo who speaks perfectly English.
There's like
He's our man on the ground
The
in Turkey.
addicted.
Cengiz. He made a show called Half-Ass, which is the Turkish version of Jackass, which we think is amazing. Cengiz reached out to us a couple months ago saying, hey, I live in Turkey, I know what's going on here, and it's a pretty good place for Iraqis to come. And he knows the lay of land, he's Turkish, and when the guys in Acrassicauda made the decision to come here, he helped find them places to live and took care of them, helped guide them around. So, what's your impression of them? Like, what were you expecting when, you know?
Well, I already kind of knew them, you know, through watching them on VBS TV. What surprised me most, I think, was how in touch with American culture they were, because it seems like they knew South Park and Beavis and Butthead and sort of the whole MTV generation. So the communication-wise, we were kind of on the same level because I kind of grew up with that as well.
Right.
So it was cool. We kind of like immediately bonded. It was fun.
It seemed like there was a bit of a kind of press explosion that happened.
Yeah.
They became like Turkish media darlings.
They ate it up. They loved it. Every single, from the main television stations to the main newspapers, everybody's carried their story.
This is another article too. Another newspaper down here. As you see, this is all about us. And it says like Saddam something.
the news. I mean, because of all this media attention, they even showed us on Iraqi channels. You know,
and was
like,
that good or bad for you?
it's bad. I mean, even if we thought about going back before, but now ever we can't go back. Never, because I mean, everybody knows you now. You know, you just like can't hide. I mean, everybody would just point at you, and then you'll be killed. It's like that.
Evet arkadaşlar, bir alkış Acrassicauda için.
You went to the first concert that they played here.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that? What
It was a media frenzy. They were really excited because they were like, "Oh my God, we're gonna, there's gonna be other metal bands and we're gonna rock." But it was totally taken over by the people that organized it. It was like this peace rally. Everybody was able to get up and make speeches, and it was essentially a wall of, you couldn't even see them play. There was a wall of cameras around the stage.
Like a lot of audience show up, 300.
Right.
And it was cool, except like, the journalism shit and the media stuff. It's like, we felt like really separated from the other bands, from any other musicians. Like we're the special retarded case down here.
Yeah.
They always like, these are the 4 refugees and cameras, and they were waiting in line just like to view this phenomenal thing. It's a circus.
Right.
It's
New
a circus.
species
We
of
felt like
Iraqis.
fucking creatures, like in a cage. So like it was like pretty bizarre.
Maybe first couple of weeks before, like we got in contact to like set up our first show and stuff like that, we were like really freaked out. I mean, everybody was thinking about like, fuck it, dude, I'm going back to Baghdad. We can't survive down here. We can't like speak the language, and then like start buying stuff and figuring out like how to deal with money and things. And I said, fuck again, I'm doomed, because like it's really expensive down here. But thanks God, I mean, it's everything start to go like in a different way, in a good way. And here we are, I guess. We are in Istanbul.
Before we embarked on our 15-hour journey to Ankara, where Acrassicauda was going to meet with the UNHCR, Faraz invited us over for dinner.
I'm excited. I get to meet your wife finally.
Cool. Yeah, and you get to see my son too.
Oh yeah, the little guy. What's your son's name?
Fadul.
Fadul.
Yeah. And I'm a little worried about tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because like we may get, I don't know, I'm just worried about like being separated from the guys. I mean, send this to another city, I mean like different cities, or I mean the problem with the cities is like cities are, I mean, it's not like a proper place for us, you know, like to play music, and this
The
is
other
like,
cities.
you know, like this is how we make a living. And it's a good step, so, you know, like to legalize our situation here. You know,
Was this the right decision?
to come to Istanbul?
Yeah.
I mean, there's no like choices, you know, we ain't got that much of choice. People think, people in Europe or even like here in Turkey, I heard that a lot, like things are getting better in Iraq. It's not getting better. I mean, people lost, you know, I mean, they spent all their savings, so they had no other choice than just like going back to Iraq. And this is one thing. The cities of Iraq now all separated, like this is for a sect and this is for another sect. It's not because they all got cool together. So it's just like the silent before the storm. I mean, that's what's happening now.
You think there's going to be another storm?
Hope not, but
there
seems
is.
like it.
Faraz took us to the apartment where he lives with his wife Fatima, his son Fadl, and his brother and sister-in-law. Fatima cooked for 2 days straight and treated us to the most amazing traditional Iraqi dinner.
And that's what we eat back in Baghdad.
What happens if you go to the UN in Ankara tomorrow and they say you're going to be in Eastern Turkey, you're going to be in Western Turkey, you're going to be in Northern Turkey,
We'll
and
be
you,
fucked.
Tony, are going to be in the South? What are you going to do?
I'll back up.
I asked myself a question before that. What if one of these guys get caught by the police down here for being like illegal refugee down here? I was like, should I like, you know, just like go and surrender myself? And hopefully they were gonna put us like in the same cell together, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
Otherwise, like, you know, just like find some way to get him out of there and all of us like go back to Baghdad. And then like it's like the same thing. If they done that for us in Ankara, man, we'll just find some way to sneak out and get like together
All
again.
together and stay
And if
together.
we got caught, we'll just like, you know, it's either like we do it like the only most important thing is like to stick together, whatever happens, for better or worse, you know?
Right.
Have, like,
I will
balls to
borrow a
start.
question from Fred. I mean, he asked me, what's this commitment that all gather you all together? Is it like something, what's this agreement that collects for our view all together? I told him there's no commitment, there's nothing, there's no agreement. It's just the music. And that's why we're here, and that's why we still live it.
We're going to Ankara, the capital of Turkey. We're taking the night train with the band and our fixer and Faraz's wife and child, who we just met for the first time today. And tomorrow's a huge day. We're going for their big meeting with the UNHCR, the United Nations High Commission of Refugees, and they will decide their fate tomorrow about whether or not they can stay in this country, and if so, can they stay in Istanbul.
We're all heading to the Aegean side. We're gonna cross the sea. We need to be on the train on the way to Ankara, and it feels good. Like, we got Turkish people, we got Canadian, we got Mexican, we got Iraqi people, and we got Pakistani people as well. And we're in Turkey, you know, this is weird. And it's so cool. It feels like, even though like we're going to the UNHCR, which is like a sad, depressed thing, but it feels good to have all these company with us. And for once, like, we're not feeling alone, you know? Like, we're sharing something with the other people. I like it. This is gonna be like the first time we're riding on a train. So a lot of firsts this year.
How do we get baby across?
We're still in Istanbul, but on the other side, the Aegean side, we just crossed the boat. We're in a fucking train station, and now this guy, I don't know what the fuck he's talking about, but we're going now, and the train will leave in like 10:30.
We have trains in Iraq, but I mean, before the war, but I wasn't that lucky to get right in them. This one is pretty cool. I like it.
Is that how many miles that we were supposed to travel?
400 miles.
Great. 7 hours. We got 2 beds here, I'm gonna take one in the top.
What are we on right now? Come on, you know.
The subject?
No, what are we on?
We're going to Ankara right now. We're on the night train! We're on the night train!
But like this trip, even it will gonna be like the best trip ever. Even like this trip will suck big time when we go to the UNSCR. Depends on what will gonna happen down there, you know? Hopefully things will turn out good. Cross fingers for that.
Morning.
Morning. What's going on?
You sleep?
Nah, man. Couldn't. Just gonna brush my teeth, clean my face. I don't want the UN guys be upset.
Like cool. Second time in my life I see snow.
"7:30 in the morning. About like 30 minutes to go to reach the final stop, train stop.
Some of us are fucking freaked out because of the whole thing, the interview thing. Some of us like don't care that much, just like me. And I'll just do my thing, you know. If they want us like to fill the forms, I know it's kind of useless to go down there actually, because like, you know, a lot of Iraqis went down there and they went like turned back like either to Baghdad or Iraq. So, you know, just like this is something that we have to do, fill the forms, you know, and go over like the process and shit.
And hopefully things will turn good, not ugly.
Sus? We just arrived in Ankara. It's really cold here. All right, we're piling into the taxis right now. We're outside the train station, and we're late for the UN meeting.
Okay, kind of nervous now about like, you know, the interview, about us satisfying them like with the story that we wrote, which is basically our story.
So they gave you like forms?
Yeah.
What were the main questions, the ones that you have to?
What do you think, like, if you're gonna go back to your country?
What happened to you?
Consequences, you know? What will happen to you and your family in case, like, you wanted to go back? And we're like, you know, 100% like
Get killed.
death. And he's puking, stuff like that.
What's going on, Tony?
He's nervous. He's puking, homesick.
When was the last time you came here?
3 months ago, man. Before our visas expired, we came down here.
Was it an interview or it was just like papers?
No, just a request for an interview, for today's interview.
Well, good luck, guys.
Thanks, man.
When we got there, the guys had to go into a separate waiting room, which was more like a holding cell. There's all kinds of Somalis, Palestinians, Iraqis, a really, really heavy vibe. And we went upstairs and we talked to the senior protection officer of the UNHCR, and he broke it all down for us.
What is the UNHCR's position on Iraqis right now?
The current situation in Iraq has led UNHCR to determine that, in principle, persons who originate from central or southern Iraq and are outside the country are in need of international protection and therefore are considered as refugees by UNHCR. The asylum seekers and the refugees have a lot of difficulties, really rare.
For a refugee to get work, to work legally, it sounds like it's almost impossible.
It's close to impossible.
So what they're really getting is permission to stay without the fear of getting kicked back into their country that they fled from.
The only durable solution is resettlement in a third country. We have to find a country that accepts them. With whom we are working on a regular basis are United States, Canada, and Australia.
Since you're the guy that makes recommendations, can you give me your honest opinion about the individuals that we've been making our documentary about, who are downstairs right now, having their interview and hoping to gain refugee status here in Turkey? What would be the steps that these 4 individuals would need to take?
Well, hopefully they will recognize as refugees if they fulfill the criteria.
That's the first step.
Second thing would be to prepare their files. And the third step would be resettlement submission. And once we submit the case for resettlement, it's a little bit out of our hands. So the ideal scenario, I would say, it would be once they are recognized as refugees, in 7-8 months, they should be able to live to a resettlement country. I cannot tell you which, because I don't even know the so they will have to stay for a while in Turkey, I am afraid. But I'm sure they will be okay.
Then one by one, the guys started coming out from their interviews. You could see that they were visibly kind of shaken by the whole thing.
What happened? What happened? They sent us away from Ankara 8 hours in a city called Sivas. Is it cool? Give us your opinion about Sivas.
It's not great. I mean, it's not bad. It's just a city.
How many hours from Istanbul?
Driving is probably like 10 hours. 10 hours driving. And trains probably, by train it's probably 14. But what's the deal yet? I mean,
we're refugees now, and in order to accomplish the whole process of being illegal refugees in Turkey, we need to stay in that city, Sivas. If we're not, and if we stayed in Istanbul, and if they cut our asses, either they will send us to that city and make sure that we'll not get out of there anytime soon, or otherwise send us back to Iraq. So that's the thing, you know. They gave us the 4 names of 4 cities, weird names, you know, and they told us pick one, and we were like, how we pick it? We never heard of it before. And they've been like, yeah, just pick one. These are the best. And I was like, says who? They're like, says we. And I don't think I'm going to Sivas, you know. If I didn't figure out a way to stay legally in Istanbul, I don't know, I mean, this is we're a band. And you can't do anything basically down there. You can't work. Of course you can't do music or anything related to the music. Hold on a second. Hello? Okay. It's like the Rolling Stone Turkey. Hey Marwan, the interview was published.
That's good.
And it's fucking sarcastic. I'm so fucking depressed.
The psychological impact on these individuals must be...
It's terrible.
The amount of bureaucracy and information that just to understand what their situation is hard.
It's terrible. Look, they go through an ordeal. They are living in a constant state of concern. What will happen? What will happen? Will I be recognized? Will I be resettled? Where will I be resettled? What will happen after I am resettled? What will happen with my family in the country of origin? All these bureaucratic, your life depends, your life is in the hand of bureaucrats. Starting with UNHCR, we are also a bureaucracy.
And what do you think the impact of that mindset is on these people?
You would be amazed to see the sicknesses that people can develop. People who are perfectly healthy upon arrival, you could see how they age in months. They start developing all sorts of sicknesses linked to depression, mental disorders.
Just like, leave me be. That's it. I wouldn't hurt anyone. I wouldn't do anything bad. But I guess this is what So let me see. Iraq, we can't live in Iraq. We're abandoned from going to Syria. Jordanian people already don't allow the Iraqis to go down there. Turkish people give you 1 month visa. And that's it. And what else? We got a whole big fucking planet called Earth. And none of it except the Iraqis down there. Which is cool. So you know what? They just fucking shouldn't nuke us, And that's it, Long story short. Just fucking nuke us and get rid of us. We're fucking the plague in your world. Nobody accept us, nobody let us be. Nobody want us. And shit happens.
With their situation still unresolved and seemingly more complex than before, we took the night bus back to Istanbul.
The good news is they don't have to go back to Baghdad, and they were granted refugee status. So it should be a cause for celebration, but unfortunately it's not, because the Turkish government won't let refugees stay in Istanbul. So they're resettling the guys to a satellite city called Sivas, which is in the middle of nowhere. They don't want to go to this town. They want to stay here, but if they stay here, they will become illegal and violate the terms of the deal with the UN. So what are they going to do?
Later that week, Acrassicauda played their second show in Turkey. It was their 10th show in 8 years as a band, and they played at the same venue that they played 3 months before. And we saw in that week the dual existence that the band leads. On one day, they're refugees, with all the stress and fear that comes with it. And on the next day, they're an aspiring metal band, trying to find their audience, write songs, and make a record.
So we're outside the Club Kemanje. It's been around for 20 years. It's the rock and roll club of Istanbul. So the band is playing here. They set up the show at the last minute. They weren't allowed to advertise it legally, so who knows if anyone's going to come or not. But they put a bulletin on their MySpace page, and they did a lot of word of mouth and called their friends. So let's go inside and see how Turkey rocks on a Saturday night.
Just a blow on it for the good luck.
يعيش فريق أكراسيكاودا يعيش.
like the reason of every fucking problem I've ever been and everything like I've been blamed for is because like, you know, I have this thing in my pocket. Can you believe it? Like it's fucking papers, you know? Identify like who you are and where you belong and shit like that. And this fucking shit control our lives.
We didn't expect it to end up this way, but it was good, you know? I mean, the end was good.
Yeah, that's
In the beginning.
Yeah. What best could have ever happened, you know?
So we're going to visit the guys at their apartment. We leave tomorrow, and it's our, I guess, final interview with them. So this is the apartment where 3 of the guys live, Marwan, Faisal, and Tony. It's the second apartment that they've had in 3 months. The first place they had was in a really shitty neighborhood, and they got robbed, they lost all of their money, and kind of had to start over. And at the first concert that they played, I think the person who promoted it found this place for them and hooked them up with it, and apparently it's a really nice pad. What's up, buddy?
How's this compared to your place in Syria?
Exactly, it's beautiful, more than Syria.
Oh, more than Syria, yeah.
And compared to your house in Baghdad?
No. No. In Baghdad, I love Baghdad. Come on in.
They can't settle into their home and be really comfortable because they may have to leave at any time. That said, they have a pretty cool house. They each have their own rooms with all their posters and their gear. It's a total band house, exactly what you would imagine a band house to be.
I don't know, we try not to get like too comfortable on the situation down here because like it's temporary, like always. Maybe we need to go like to the Sela city where they like pinpoint us, or like we have to stay down here and lay low, crossing fingers like the police will never catch one of us.
Break them alone. So you guys are still living a day at a time?
Yeah, actually we live in minute by minute and that's it, because we don't know anything. What could happen next second maybe.
When he came here in Istanbul, we lost our life. But أنا ربحت يعني العزف الموسيقى.
Playing music for you guys has always been really, really hard.
Yeah.
In every country that you've ever lived in.
Yeah.
Were you ever able to see bands before? When you were in Syria and in Iraq?
No, we never been in a live show. Then other than our.
So what's that like? That's a like you guys have been a band for, 8 years,
Yeah.
and you've never seen another band play. Like
Except
what was that?
videos.
Like?
That's
Yeah, I mean
Right.
on videos, but nothing like like live shows or concerts or anything.
After playing music in a bubble for so many years, and then coming here and then seeing bands that are more advanced. You and I were talking a while ago, and you said, when people talk about us, we want them to talk about the music. And not say, those guys are pretty good for a bunch of Iraqi refugees.
And I mean, just like what I said, when you see these, like people and bands and stuff like that, it kind of gives you more like power, to be better and pushing you forward.
يعني أريد موسيقتي يعني أكثر شيء تنمو. أريد أصدقائي وياي، أهلي وياي. والمشكلة إنه أدري إنه هذا الشيء فالشيء كله صعب ولهذا الشيء ده أقول له أنا ما أعرف.
A lot of Iraqis are going back now. They're going, especially from Syria. Their visas have expired and they won't get renewed, and they've run out of money, and so they're going back. What kind of Iraq do you think they're going back to?
Okay. This New Year, I called my sister on the cell phone, and I was like, so what you gonna do this New Year, like after 12 o'clock? She was like, I hate 12 o'clock. And I was like, why? She was like, the power goes off like 11:55. So there is no New Year down here. It's like the same year over and over again. So there's no New Year, right, man. And in a country that you worry about your family every bare moment, and in a country like where you worry about like not waking up the other day, in a country that you can't plan for next day, so what about like future? There is no hope down there. There is no hope.
There's still no hope?
No. When you see this band go down there, back to Iraq, either to live or perform music, then like the hope will be like down there. Because that's when we're gonna be capable to do what we love down there. Like any normal human being, you know? You don't hurt anyone, you don't like get close to anyone, you don't break any rule, you just like do what you love. And there's like no fear of doing that. This is like a normal country, you know? But when we can do what we love and like help out, like building like new country, like anyone, like, you know, a painter, an artist, like a musician, an engineer, whoever, like trying to help like build new country, and they abandoning him from doing that, and they send him threats, and they bomb his fucking place. This is not a fucking new country, man. It's a fucking pile of broken hopes and dreams down there. That's what it is.
So you guys will go back when you can play and make music and the freedom is there and you can be the old school metal guys
I'll
and
start
set up.
school down there, man, teaching music. I'm gonna open a restaurant. I'm gonna call it Acrassicauda. He's gonna open a cosmetic shop. And he'll gonna have like and you're gonna open like a CD shop. And Tony was gonna open a bar just like his dad.
Yeah, if he opens a bar, I'll like be his partner, you know. Set up a stage
waiter.
for bands, you know, like rock bands or new like, you know, blues or anything. Just put them on
That's
stage.
the dream.
Yeah.
My dream stops when I will meet my family. This is the farthest thing that I can dream of now.
But in your dreams, does that include going back to Baghdad one day?
Always.
Yeah.
Always. If you deny your homeland, you don't have a fucking homeland. You'll never belong in any place, you know? And we're not trying to be like someone like we're not, you know?
And whenever we go, it's still these four Iraqi guys still joking, laughing a lot of times, you know, playing and jamming together. So,
Other things.
and we're good with that, you know.
This is us. We're the big Baghdadis, like who came from Baghdad. And we're proud of that. Because I'm gonna cry. Because like we're so in fucking love with this. Like this country never gave me what I wanted. Not even like the simple things that I wanted, you know? And like sometimes, a lot of times I never felt that I belonged. Like all of us never felt like they belong. But for some reason, man, we're so attached to it. Like my dreams always stops like from where I started, from the same exact pinpoint that I started from, which is like Baghdad, you know. It's not like Hollywood, it's not like Paris, it's not like
Miami,
you know. It's already in the States. It's not like any of these like, you know, places, which is like also beautiful, man. It's like that place down there, like where the big fucking flames comes from and where people killing each other. But for some reason I always like will remember it as a beautiful, beautiful fact in my life.